Hey y'all, it's Brandon from Vintage Chair back with another video. Gonna be doing this bob in this video. So as you can see, my client has a whole bunch of hair. And so we're gonna get that braided down before we get the cap started. My client prefers a beehive braid pattern because of the density of her hair. And so we're gonna do that and get it finished up. So I'm going to use my crochet hook just to pull that tail of the braid through some of the other braids so that it's not just hanging around or hanging out. As you can see, the tail of her hair is pretty long. It hangs out from under her hair. So and I'm using bold hold. I'm going to be using that to help lay her cap down, but I'm also using that to help get the strips in place. I also use a little bit of hair glue just to help tack it down. So now that I've gotten that all done, I'm going to add stocking cap to her hair, and I'm going to kind of apply this similarly to how a lot of people apply them when they're doing like frontals or closures and stuff, cutting out her ear area. So now I'm going to use that bold hold just to hold her cap down. So now I'm going to use some of the liquid cap, and I'm just going to take that and put it over the front. My client, her hairline is a little bit low, and so because of that, I like to use this product just to make sure that all of her hair is covered and will be protected with this quick weave service. So I'm adding some of, I forgot what that spray is called, but whatever that wig spray is. But now I'm just taking, I'm just gonna sew down the back of the caps just to make sure that she has a little bit of extra longevity with her service. Cutting off the front of the cap, but I'm keeping the band so it can still have some stability. And here's the colors that she's gonna be using. I'm gonna be mixing them. With the quick weave, you don't want to put the first track with a bob rather. With a bob, you don't want to put the tracks too low in the beginning of the process of laying the hair. And so I'm doing about 2 or 3 tracks at a time. And I'm mixing the colors. Like on that first one, I did the blonde on the bottom and the brown on the top. On this one, I'm doing the brown, blonde, and then the orange on top. So as you can see, I got the hair about to there, and then I started doing the U shape in the front to set the beginning. And now I'm just filling up that front. I didn't want the I didn't want the closure to be too far in the front of her head, so I'm just kind of filling up that front. Also, I'm putting the tracks a little bit close with the bang area, and I'm doing that because my client wanted her hair to have a pretty full bang. If your client doesn't want as full of a bang, then you could separate the tracks a little bit, not put them quite so close, and get the same effect, or get the effect that your client wants. So now that I got that filled in, I'm about to complete laying the track. So what I wanted to do was split the track. Most tracks come double wefted. And what this is going to do is just make the top of her hair a lot more flat, a lot more seamless. So it's not too bulky. I'm just going to run this one in a complete circle. But how y'all week been going? Just to check on y'all. How you been doing? How your family is? Comment down below. Comment me something. Let's see. Put a 2 in the comments if you got through the video this far. Put a 2. And I'm just closing this up. I'm just gonna keep spinning and spinning until I almost don't have any more room. I am gonna make my own closure and put it at the top, but you wanna get it as small as you can get it. So now I'm just sealing that closure using my flat iron to do so. Hey y'all, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. It's free. It's free. It's free. All you gotta do is click the button. Subscribe. Alright, so I've got that put in place. I'm about to put that down, just adding a little glue to the top area, and then I'm going to press that in. Alright, so we're about to get started with the cutting. So what I'm going to do is part out the area where I want her bangs to be. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller than what I actually want it to be so that I can have some room to razor the sides down to blend to the longer hair. So we're going to get started on the side, on the rest of the cut. What I'm doing is using my clippers to do this cut. For me, I find it a little bit easier to do blunt cuts or haircuts like this with the clippers. The blade on them is already straight and flat, so it makes it easier to just go through and knock it out. And it also is you're able to get through a lot more hair when you're doing it like this. Whereas like when you're using shears for something like this, it's a little bit more difficult and the hair is really thick, so you have to part it off and do all that, which I don't have time for that. So the clippers do just fine for what I want them to do. So as you can see, we got a really nice and clean cut. I am going back in with my shears just to tighten it up a little bit. Sometimes the hairs that are kind of underneath go away. But like I said, I'm spinning that hair around, adding a clip. Now that I've got it spinning around, I'm taking my razor and just razoring that bang area. And then those sides, I'm just trying to blend those with the rest of the hair. And I'm also going in and adding a little bit of layers so you can see the blonde, as well as the orange kind of peeking out from on top of the brown. I didn't want it to be all just straight one color. The razor comb really changes the game with all kinds of hair because it helps so much. I'm also using some point cutting technique just to take out some of that bulk and also allow for some of the other colors to pop through on top of the brown. All right, so I'm gonna go in and start kind of bumping the hair a little bit. And also, I don't know what's wrong with pack hair, but it always got some strings that's all kind of different colors. So make sure you cut those out. And I'm just doing a slight bevel. I'm not bumping it too hard. I don't want it to have a hard bump on the ends, just enough to kind of give the haircut some shape. And I'm using Sebastian Shaper to do that. And also, it would probably be better to use a larger plate iron to do this, if you have trouble with adding too much curl to the end. That would help. But this is my weave flat iron because I don't like using my better flat irons on weave hair, especially pack hair, because sometimes it can have fibers and stuff in there that'll burn on your plates, and I do not want that. Just adding a little extra holding spray to catch those flyaways. So I'm having my client check it out. Just make sure the bang is long enough or short enough. She said she wanted it to be a little bit shorter, so I'm just going to trim it up just a little bit more. And like I said, I'm using that point cutting technique because I do want it to be a little bit choppy. I don't want it to be just a straight across bang. I want to have a little bit of texture to it. As you see, using that razor, it made some of that color pop out. Then I'm just taking my hot comb with a little bit more of that Sebastian Shaper and just going over the top to make sure it's smooth. So you also want to make sure that you have your client kind of turn their head to the side, lean it over to the side, and you'll see kind of where hairs will stick out from the bottom of where you want that blunt cut at. And by having them lean their head to the side, lean it down, it'll help alleviate that. So you can see we have a straight cut. Looking really nice. As you can see, there's none of those hairs at the bottom sticking out. Just wanted to show you guys some of the color. We having fun. Stiff wear. Stiff wear. When your client's goofy. Well, you guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you watch another video, especially if you're not doing nothing else. Peace.